Hey guys, Kirk here from Kirk's Aquariums. Hope you and your fish are doing well. In this week's episode, we've got some exciting stuff. We are spending a day in the fish room. We are finishing off some projects that I've been meaning to do, and we are selling some fish. So it's all coming up here on this episode. So sit back, stay tuned, and enjoy the video. Alrighty, so we're going to start off with today with taking some of these koi angels into my local fish shop. I just don't need this many, and we're growing them out and they're quite a nice size. So we're going to take these into the shop today. We're going to take in some black angels as well. I've got 4 of them in excess. So 4 of these guys are going to go, or maybe 5. And 4 of the black angels, they're the first ones we're going to take into the shop today. We're also going to take another batch of our Goiter River rainbows into the shop today as well. I think there's about 25 in here. There's definitely some males and females. We're just going to take these guys into the shop today as well. So not a huge haul of fish going to the fish shop today, but a decent amount, a small amount, basically just to make room for all the other babies I've got coming up. So there's just been so much breeding in the fish room at the moment. Like I've shown you guys before, there is at least 100 plus more Goiter River rainbows ready to go into this tank. And yeah, we're going to take these into the shop. So I'm going to bag them up now and we'll get to it. And just like that, we now have 20 Goiter River rainbows in the bag, ready to go to the local fish shop. And there's some nice looking ones in here, but yeah, 20, we are ready to go. We just got to bag up the angels and then we're off to our local fish shop. Alright, so our koi angels are bagged up, ready to go. We ended up taking 5 in, so it is a bit crowded in there, but we are off. Oh, one's upside down. We are off to the fish shop now. So basically 5 decent sized koi angels going into my local fish shop, just clearing out some space, like I said just before, making space for all the other babies on the way. Alright, we've bagged up our 4 black angels, like I said, looking chunky. So taking them into the fish shop as well. We've got all our fish bagged up and we are ready to go. So I will see you guys when I'm back from the fish shop. Alright, we are back from the fish shop. We have taken the fish in. As you can see, this tank is now empty of rainbow fish, but not for much longer because we are about to move a couple of hundred, I think, maybe 100, I'll be humble, into here. But first, I actually want to address a problem. So I don't always just show the good stuff, sometimes I show the bad stuff. And what I've learnt today, and I actually learnt this a couple of days ago, my beautiful baby cories, a couple of them have actually passed away. And I couldn't help but notice the ones that have passed away have actually got small little cuts / abrasions on their nose, like just above like their snout. Now you can see here, they've got their whiskers doing fine, but I think, and I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to address it and see what happens because I don't like losing fish. Now I'm going to completely cover all of this substrate with sand, and what I'm going to do is put a thick layer of sand. I've got myself some sand. I'm going to put a thick layer of sand and cap all this substrate with sand because I feel like it might be the cories are digging, and people people watching this, you know, if you know this already, like, you know, drop a like and comment down below if you've got some experience breeding Corydoras, because I love to hear from people that have bred Corydoras in the past or breeding Corydoras now. But I just want to know if this is actually a problem or not, and I think it actually might be. So I'm going to cap this substrate now with sand, and hopefully that is going to stop any further abrasions happening on the cories, because the last thing we want is these beautiful little Sturbe cories to be beating themselves up a bit too much when they're digging for food in this substrate. And it's not sharp substrate, it's actually like rounded aqua earth sort of stuff mixed in with a very smooth normal substrate. So I didn't think it was actually going to be a problem for them. Obviously if it was sharp pointy substrate I'd understand a lot more, but I didn't think this was going to be a problem because I've kept, you know, adult sized cories on this substrate for years and years and years and never had a problem. But it's not until I've bred baby cories but I think these little fellas are just a bit too small and a bit too delicate for this substrate. And yeah, I'm just gonna not replace it, just cap it with sand. So we're gonna do that now, and I'll get back to you guys when that is all done. Have a look at that. So we have another spawn of super red bristlenose. So this guy actually was sitting on eggs last week, and I pulled those eggs, and then I came down yesterday, had a look at this tank, getting ready to sell the angels, and I noticed this guy was sitting inside his cave, flapping his fins like he is right now. So I grabbed the flashlight, had a look, and sure enough, as you can see there, he's sitting on yet another clutch of eggs. So this is really, really exciting because there's been another female, so there's a couple of females, big females in this tank, and basically 2 females in a week have both spawned a pretty big clutch of eggs. So now I have 2 decent sized spawns of super red bristlenose babies to hatch. So the first lot have already hatched, they've pretty much eaten their egg sac, and obviously these guys will probably hatch over the next 5 days. So really, really exciting stuff here in the fish room. If you guys are liking this video so far, don't forget to hit that like button. Really means a lot to the channel and helps the channel grow. Your support is greatly appreciated. So I actually did a bit of a trial. We've used the longfin albino cories. I thought if I'm gonna do sand for my cories, I'm gonna do sand for all of the cories from now on. So what I've done is I've done exactly what I just said. I've gone and capped the substrate. So I've capped the substrate here, then you can see the sand's sort of gone through, but there's still a decent layer underneath that. And I'm actually gonna put a bit more sand on here because I know these guys are just gonna burrow their way through this pretty quickly, but they seem to be pretty happy with it. The water's still a little bit cloudy. I washed the sand and everything like that and let the water settle a little bit, but it's looking pretty good so far. So hopefully the sand really makes a bit difference. I know cories prefer sand, like that is definitely, they will absolutely prefer sand over anything, but you know, you can keep them on normal substrate as long as it's not sharp and pointy. But I'm switching all my tanks that have cories in them to have sand as the substrate, not replacing my substrate, just capping my substrate with sand for my cories. So this is a new thing for me, and I think it's just going to be a lot better in the long run. But yeah, just thought I'd show you guys that I've sort of started capping my cory tanks with a thick layer of sand. And just like that, we now have sand all in the bottom of our tank. Now I've rinsed the sand, washed it thoroughly, and still have a little bit of a cloudy water going on, and I just threw some food in there as well. But look at this tank. I think this tank looks absolutely amazing now. So not only is it beneficial for my cories, it also makes all the fish stand out. I can see all the fish way better, and it gives you guys a bit of an idea. I've got a lot of bristlenose in this tank as well. There is a lot of bristlenose, but you know, we zoom in a little bit, we've got an army of bristlenose, an army of cories. I think the sand is definitely a win. I mean, look at them over here just chowing down on the food. We threw in some flake food, get that into them, but absolutely amazing. I'm really, really happy, and I think honestly it's definitely an improvement. So aesthetically pleasing as well. I just think the sand just looks much, much better. So let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? Do you think the sand substrate looks a lot much better, or do you guys prefer the natural substrate look down the bottom? Let me know in the comments, but I personally think the sand looks absolutely amazing. I can see all these fish much, much easier. And yeah, that is this tank. It's pretty much ready now to add all the rainbows. So there's gonna be a lot of fish in this tank, so the maintenance is gonna be overtime. Now, quick little update on the last video. I showed you guys that I'd pulled a slate of baby black angels, and sorry for the lighting, but the lights that I'm using actually make a terrible flicker when I try and video this tray. So I've turned the lights off and I'm just using my phone light. So I do apologize about the lighting, but at least you guys can see what's going on in here. So what we've got in here is the result of that slate. So funnily enough, it's actually thrown some red angels as well. So the black pair of angels is not a true black pair of angels. So they were spawned with Elmo, the red koi angel that I had. He was paired off with a black angel, and so some of the genes have carried over into the black angels that I now have as F1s, and then these are basically almost 50-50. So you can see the difference here. I'll try and get a bit closer. We've got a fair few that have survived, we had to pull them out of here, out of that tank, and I put them into my fry tray system. Much better option. And basically you can see the difference. The black ones obviously are the black ones, and the yellowy looking ones are going to end up being just normal koi / red koi. So they're not true red kois either. A lot of people, just letting you guys know, I don't have true red koi angels. Elmo was a true red koi, but because I didn't have a female, I ended up using a black female angelfish, and that made the genes a slightly mixed. So now we have a mixture of baby black angelfish and baby koi angelfish. So this is, as you guys have seen before, the bigger amount of baby goiter rivers. These ones are the ones that I am about to move and put them into the bigger tank. So hopefully this will really speed up their growth, but they are getting way too big for this tank and we have to move them into a bigger tank. I just had to sell those other ones today to make space for these ones. So we're gonna go do that now and move these ones into the bigger tank. Alrighty, so it's been a few more hours and I have successfully moved all of the other baby goiter river rainbows into this tank, and oh my goodness, that is a lot. So these are all baby goiter river rainbows, and yeah, basically this tank has cleared up quite well. The filter's taken care of the sandy, cloudy water, and now we just enjoy the sand and our cories down the bottom here. I think this is honestly so much better than just having the gravel on the bottom, especially for cories. Like, I'm not telling everyone to go out and start putting sand in their tanks, but for me personally, I've never really done sand in fish tanks before. Over the years of keeping fish, I've never done a sand sort of fish tank, but this to me looks absolutely amazing, and obviously a massive benefit to my little baby stir-bay cories. So if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to go check out some of my other videos here up on the screen right now. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.